Hello, my name is Busuttil. I am an experimental archaeologist and I am working with the archaeological field team of Heritage Malta. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite artifacts, the cooking pot. It is natural for people to look at the shiny and the prestigious looking things. When you go into a museum, is it the coarse looking, possibly burnt cooking pot, or is it the nice, shiny, prestigious golden artifact that you see next door? In other words, the cooking pots don't catch your eye. Cooking pots are not rare artifacts. Everyone needs to eat. Therefore, you can find them pretty much everywhere. In all cultures, you find them on various different sites, including even sometimes religious ones. The overall shape of the cooking pot might change, but you still find cooking pots everywhere. You still find them today in your kitchen back at home. It is a locally made olla of the type C3 variant. It was commonly found at Busuttil and at other sites around the island. Cooking pots can give you lots of different information. The type of food that was cooked inside the pot is absorbed by the pot, and then from the residues left behind inside you can determine what kind of food was cooked in it. If it was charred inside and the food overcooked, burnt, you can even try doing C14 dating and getting an accurate date of when it was last used. You can also determine how good a cook the person who used it was, because since there was burnt food inside, they either got distracted or they weren't that good a cook. So you can get a lot of information from it. However, what interests me about this pot is actually the way it was made. As an experimental archaeologist, I make a lot of crucibles made from pottery, ceramics, and the way you make crucibles and the way you make cooking pots is pretty similar. Crucibles are put in open fires and they need to melt metals at over 1,000 degrees centigrade. Crucibles are essentially extreme versions of the cooking pot, and if they're not made correctly, they can easily break, crack, and spoil, and in some extreme cases even explode. So the cooking pot is not the simple looking vessel you get at the very end. They're quite complicated, and to make them more thermally resistant, then when they're making the clay and making the pot, they add inclusions and tempers to help with the heat transference from the outside, where it's extremely hot because of the flames, to the inside to heat the metals or the food inside, and at the same time keep the heat evenly distributed among the pot so that it doesn't break. These inclusions in this pot, they're small, tiny, microscopic black and white particles that you can see through the microscope. So cooking pots are not really simple objects, they're quite complicated. In some cases, even organic material was added to the clay fabric. These organic residues would burn off during the firing process, leaving tiny voids inside the clay walls. These voids help with the transfer of heat as the heat from the outside travels inwards and upwards, so that the whole pot is uniform in heat distribution. And this allows the pot to survive, to remain active and be reused time and time again in a safe way. People often think that these coarse cooking pots are simply made, but in actual fact they're really not. They're quite complicated, and these added inclusions make the pot look coarse. But in actual fact, it is this coarseness which lets it be reused time and time again, and in a safe way. It is therefore not the simple looking pottery vessel that tends to be ignored in the museum display case. And the next time you visit a museum and you see one, please remember what I've just been saying and give it a bit more thought. Thank you.